Now let me start with the easy technique on how to do this. You need a grass whip. If you don't have a grass whip, you can get this at the Home Hardware. You're going to order these online. They're between $20 and $30. If you can't find any of these, go to our website at wisdomingolf.com, and we've got grass whips that are adapted for your golf swing that are very, very easy to swing, and you can even sharpen them up. So let's start with our little grass whip here. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to tee up just some tees here. And all I'm going to do is cut through a couple of tees. So I'm finding the surface of the ground with my grass whip. Can you hear that? And then I bring that in, and all I'm trying to do is let the grass whip shave grass along the surface of the ground. Hear the sound of that? Notice how it just cuts the tee right off. Hear the sound of that? So we're letting the sole of this grass whip shave along the surface of the ground. Now, ball position, really, really important. If I had only one arm and I was cutting grass with just one arm, the center of this machine is my right shoulder. So you notice the club is constantly cutting grass right under my right shoulder. Whether I go this way or this way, you can see my divot is appearing right underneath the shoulder. If I bring both hands together to take my grip, the center of that machine is right here between my two clavicles. It's called the sternal notch. So now when I swing back and through without stopping, notice how the club wants to cut grass right here, starting at the center of my stance. So as I'm going that way, it's cutting from here forward. And as I'm going into my backswing, it's cutting from the center rearward. And, you know, if you are actually cutting grass for a living, you can see that the grass whip has teeth on both sides of the unit, so that when I'm cutting grass, I can cut my workload in half by cutting grass in both directions. So you take your golf club. This is a grass cutting tool first and foremost. The sole of the club is designed exactly for that. So now when you bring your dandelions in disguise, you put that on a tee, see that? And all you want to do is cut through the tee with the sole of the club. So now when you're focused on cutting through the tee with the sole of the club, there you go. So look at the tee right here. Can you see that? So I catch the tee, and then the divot comes out after the tee has been struck or has been cut. So if we look at that in slow motion, you'll notice as I'm coming down to cut through the tee, the hands are coming through first. Then the shaft, then the heel of the club, then the toe of the club. So I'm cutting the tee. Now look at what happens to the ball. In order for the sole of the club to cut the tee, the ball meets the club face first. Then I cut the tee. Then the grass comes out. So if you look at these slow motion views that you see on the PGA Tour, you'll notice that the grass is never cut prior to the ball. So for all of you who are trying to lift the golf ball, so you like to play more in the heavier grass like this because you feel like you can lift the ball better, but then when you get on nice short grass like this, you end up hitting a lot of fat shots because you're trying to lift the ball. There is no under the ball. The big ball's in the way. So all I'm trying to do now with the ball on the ground is I'm going to take that dandelion stem that I just talked about, and what we're going to do is we're going to send the dandelion stem out into the picture. So if I put a ball on top of that, and I'm going to take this dandelion stem and I'm going to whip it out there. My eyes are on the grass between the leading edge of the grass whip and the ball, and my attention is on the tee or the dandelion stem itself, and I'm going to whip it out there towards my target. Watch where peak speed is. See what just happened there? So the grass whip is coming down. You can see it right there. Heel first, then toe, then through. Notice the tee flies out from under where the ball is and the ball drops to the ground. So if I do exactly the same thing with this, my eyes are actually between the leading edge of the club and the ball. I'm going to put it right here next to this divot. And there's a great lesson for you, by the way. Always place the ball at the back of the divots. And now I'm going to take the dandelion stem and I'm going to send it out there. So notice how it always wants to go from the center forward. Look at that. So if the ball is in the center of the stance, and then you take the dandelion stem and you whip it out there towards the target, here we go. Whip it out there. Hear the sound of that? Ooh, that felt so good on the face. Felt like I vaporized the golf ball. Look at these beautiful divots right here, okay? So let's see how Moo does with that. You'll see that in the last 4 years, this is one of the aspects that Menashe has really improved on. And now he's a single-digit handicap playing in the low 80s, and that is going to get even better very soon. Stay with us. Oh, good swing.
That was straight draw.
So you can't see that, but Moo has become such a great player with the ground. I remember he used to take these absolute beaver tails.
Yeah.
And now we can call you Whisper, just like in James Bond. Remember Whisper?
Yeah, that's right.
So beautiful wispy divot along the surface of the ground. So the key to good divots is you being able to follow the ground in the direction of the target. That's why the direction that you're sending your divots on is super important. So Moo always puts an intermediate point in front of his ball. You can see that tee right there. He's religious about that, and so should you be. Always pick a spot in front of the ball that you can easily see in your peripheral vision. Now that you line up with that, Moo, go ahead.
Okay.
And this is really, really key, okay? Because if your alignment's not proper, you can't find the right ball position. And if you can't find the right ball position, you can't take a proper divot. So right now feels good, Moo?
Yeah.
So right now his feet are parallel to that line, and you'll notice if we take a line perpendicular to his heels, that ball is right in the center of the stance. So right now he stands to really get solid contact with that shot.
Yeah.
So he's just going to let momentum release through in that direction. Awesome. So
A little thin.
thin to win, baby. And
Yeah.
look, you're still expanding on that divot.
Right.
So I keep putting the ball right there at the back of that divot.
Yeah.
Let's see another one. And because Moo always finds his alignment, he always finds that ball position. All right.
GLG.
So what was the last thing going through your mind just before you hit that one, Moo?
I was thinking about the 2T drill just to get through the ball a lot longer, like just compress it.
To stay longer along the ground?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so
Because I wasn't getting the divots, so I was trying to.
when you got to it, yeah, because you were trying to fix that.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah.
don't, there you go. So you're trying to fix something right there.
Yeah, I was gonna focus down there.
So what happens then, and this is classic. We see this all the time. So you try and you don't get a couple of divots.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, I got to fix something because I must be doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And then you went to a good drill called the 2T drill.
Yeah, I just went there just to like reset my, I don't know, feel.
So 2T drill basically is we're putting down 2 T's like this to simulate the length of a divot.
Right.
And because you have to go through the second tee,
Yeah.
it attracts you along the ground.
Correct.
So when you went for the 2T drill,
Yeah.
you got stuck down here though.
Yeah, and then I got too strenuous.
So we want to take those 2 tees and we want to send them out there.
Right.
All right, so now let's see you send those 2 tees out there with momentum. Ooh, man, that was a really, really good strike.
Yeah, it was momentum there.
And you notice, see, here's your ball.
Yeah, that's right.
And you started cutting grass just slightly behind the ball.
Right.
But you did that very solid.
Yeah, I got away with it.
Well, yeah, you got away with it.
Yeah.
And you'll see guys on the PGA Tour do this all the time.
Right.
That's why that line that they're on always tends to stretch out. Otherwise,
Right.
the divot, they would always have this much divot.
Correct, yeah.
So you're not going to be spot on all the time. You didn't do anything wrong,
No.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what we do, we can put the ball right next to that,
Right.
and we're going to match that divot in that direction.
Correct.
So it should feel like, hey, when I deliver in that direction, it feels like, and remember we talked about how if the ball's in the right position,
Right.
all you got to do is send your grass clippings that way, or send the dandelion stem that way, or send the 2 tees that way.
Correct, yeah.
So here are your 2 tees,
Right.
and this is a super way to go about things. So
Yeah.
let momentum send those 2 tees out there. I'm really glad you did that, Moo. Thank you.
No problem.
Just super. I mean, literally, you could put a blanket on those last 3 shots that you
Yeah,
hit,
that one was a good one there.
right?
Yeah.
So look at that divot.
Yeah, so it started proper.
Absolutely perfect. It started right there.
Yeah.
So we're going that way.
Always, yeah.
We're sending the tees that way. We're sending the stem that way. Whatever you choose, as long as you're going in that direction and you're using momentum. In other words, we're using the weight of the arms to deliver in that direction.
Yeah.
So just to remind everybody, where should you feel? Because you've become quite the long drive competitor.
Right, yeah.
And I wish you guys could see that 7-iron right there. We should put one on Rapsodo afterwards so they can see that.
For
okay?
sure, yeah, yeah.
And he's now hitting it. He's 3 yards off the 400-yard mark.
Yeah.
And you're consistently, carrying the ball 375 yards with the driver now.
Now I am, yeah.
Where's peak speed?
Way out in front of you.
That's
No,
it.
Yeah, so
So when you send those divots out there, it's like in hockey, you collect the puck from here, you release the puck there.
that's right.
Peak speed's over there.
Yeah.
So everybody thinks that all the juice should be at the bottom. So for those of you who tend to hit it fat or hit the ground before the ball, you are focused on trying to hit the golf ball instead of collecting from here and sending out there. So this video is really going to help you start to take divots at the right place.
Yeah.
Stay with us though. We're going to show you in the next video how sometimes you want a divot and sometimes you don't. You don't want to miss that one. See you next week.